Hello everyone, how are you all? I hope you all are safe and healthy. So today we are going to cover up this essay as we have already planned. We are going to do it today, which is essay 620. What is this essay all about? This essay is about using the work of an auditor's expert. Like we studied essay 500, in that we studied management's expert. Here we are going to study about the auditor's expert. Now the auditor has used the work of an expert which is employed or not employed, but which is being appointed or used or referred to by the auditor, not the management. Okay, so this is the basic difference between the auditor's expert and the management's expert. The management's expert helps in the preparation of financial statements. It helps the management for the preparation of financial statements, but the auditor's expert helps the auditor to obtain the sufficient and appropriate audit evidences, so he can form a conclusion, he can form the conclusions based upon those evidences and thereby giving the opinion on the financial statements. So here the auditor's expert is going to directly help the auditor. There the management expert was directly helping the management, but somewhere if we were finding his work to be good and he was competent enough, capable enough, and his objectivity was there, in that cases we used to use the work of the management's expert also. Okay, so let me give you a brief idea about this essay so that you will be able to understand this better, and after giving you the brief idea we will just quickly cover it up from the notes, and after the notes we are going to revise it quickly so that we are able to do it thrice, and with this no other things are required. You just have to listen or watch this video and just review the notes once again and just do the questions after that. Okay, so let's start with this essay without any further discussion. Let's start with this. Okay, so what is this essay all about? Here the auditor will take help of the auditor's expert. When will the auditor take the help of auditor's expert? When the auditor is finding some areas where he is unable to perform the procedures because he is not holding the expertise in that particular area. There might be chances or there might be some cases where the auditor is not possessing the required expertise. So that is why, since he has to perform the procedures in order to obtain the sufficient and appropriate audit evidences regarding the proper functioning of that particular area, and for this the auditor takes help of an expert which is directly helping the auditor in obtaining the sufficient and appropriate audit evidences. Okay, so who will be an expert? Expert is a person who is holding some sort of expertise in a particular field, which is obviously not accounting and auditing, because this is the specialized area for the auditor and the auditor does not require any expert help in this particular matter. He requires help in those matters which are not related to his own field, which is obviously not the accounting and auditing. So he will take the help of the expert only when the cases or only when he requires the help in those fields which are not related to accounting or auditing. Okay, so auditor's expert may be a valuer or a lawyer or somebody else who is possessing a particular expertise, knowledge in a particular field which the auditor is not having, and in order to obtain the sufficient appropriate audit evidences he is referring to the auditors, he is referring to that expert. Okay, so here the responsibility of the auditor comes into picture. What are the responsibilities of the auditor? With respect to the auditor's expert, he will have to see in which areas he has to take the help of an expert and in which areas he is not able to perform the procedures as are required because of lack of knowledge. Okay, so first of all he will have to identify which area needs an expert. Secondly, he will have to check whether the expert he is approaching is actually competent, capable enough to do the work and provide the sufficient and appropriate audit evidences to the auditor so that the auditor can rely on his work. So for that the auditor needs to examine whether the expert whom he is referring to is actually an expert or not, whether he will be able to serve the purpose of the auditor, which is to obtain the sufficient and appropriate audit evidences. So for this he needs to understand his work, he needs to take the written representations from him, he needs to do an agreement with him, which should be obviously written agreement, like what all work will be done by the expert, how it will be done, and how it will be relevant for the auditor, and whether the auditor is providing, when the auditor is obviously providing the data of the client, which is very sensitive and confidential, so the auditor needs to make sure that the expert also does not use it for his own benefit or for the benefit of others, which is not actually allowed unless otherwise stated. So in this case, the auditor needs to make sure that the other expert or the expert which he is approaching to also does not misuse the information which is of the client and which is very sensitive and confidential. So for this, he needs to make an agreement with that person. He needs to make an agreement which should be written and it should be detailed also, so that all the points are covered which are very important. Okay, so for checking whether the expert's work is adequate or not, the auditor will have to see what findings he is giving, what are the conclusions he is giving on those findings, and we'll have to compare it with the audit evidences we have approached because of some other procedures we have performed. Obviously baat hai na, they should match with each other. If they are not, we'll need to check whether the findings are correct which are being given by the expert. So for this, we need to check whether the findings and conclusions are reasonable, relevant, consistent with the other audit evidences that we have got. Also, we need to see what assumptions he is taking, whether he is taking the assumptions which are actually relevant and reasonable. If not, we'll need to see whether his methods are correct. If his assumptions are wrong, obviously his work will also be wrong. So that is why it is important that we check what assumptions he are making while doing the work, what are the methods he is using, is that reasonable, relevant. We need to see what is the source data he is using, whether the source data which he is using is correct or not. If the source data is incorrect, obviously the processing will also be incorrect. So this is what the auditor needs to see. Auditor will check if the work is adequate or not. If the work is not adequate, he'll have to see what are the reasons behind such inadequacy. He will check whether the inadequacy is because of the limitations being imposed by the management, or the auditor's expert is not only applying the appropriate procedures. If the auditor's expert himself is not applying the appropriate procedures, the auditor will have to tell him that please perform additional procedures so that he will be able to obtain some reasonable assurance. For that, if the expert says yes, he is going to perform the procedures, then it's okay. If he is not agreeing to that, then the auditor who has actually approached him will have to replace him. Why? Because the auditor has approached an expert for the reason being he wanted to obtain the sufficient and appropriate audit evidences, and when the expert is not working as per the auditor, then obviously the auditor will replace him. So that is what the auditor is going to do. But if this is a case where the auditor's expert is actually facing problems because of the limitations being imposed by the management is not providing him the information which is actually required for doing the workings and all. So in this case, what will the auditor do? The auditor will discuss this matter with the management and request them, then please provide the information to the expert because we want to do this. But if the management does not agree to provide the information, in that case हमें पता है हमें क्या करना है, we'll have to just modify a report as per SA 705. ओके टिल हेयर. अच्छा, अब बात आती है, हमने काम यूज़ किया है ऑडिटर्स एक्सपर्ट का. सो द ऑडिटर्स एक्सपर्ट विल बी ओनली रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर द वर्क बीइंग डन बाय हिम, और द ऑडिटर विल बी रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर द sufficiency and appropriateness of the audit evidences and thereby the conclusions and opinion on that. Obviously the auditor will be responsible. We cannot say the expert performed it and we just relied on him. We did not check whether it was right or wrong. We did not perform the other procedures to make sure that the evidences are not contradicting each other, they are not inconsistent. We did not do those things. Can we say that? No. We need to check whether the work being done by him is actually relevant or reasonable or not. If it is not, I'll be responsible for it. I need to make sure as an auditor that the work is actually appropriate, relevant for my purposes. Okay, so if the expert has done correctly, done the work correctly or incorrectly, all the responsibility is solely with the auditor. Okay, now what should the auditor do? Should he give the reference to the expert's work in his audit report, so that he is able to make sure that this work has been done by the auditor, and these were the findings and conclusions upon his working. Can the auditor do that? Yes, the auditor can do that only when he is giving the modified opinion. He will make sure that everything should be written completely, perfectly detailed in his audit report, and thereby giving the reference to the expert's report. But it should be only after taking consent from him, that I am giving the reference to your report in my audit report, so that the stakeholders will be able to check that this work was done by the auditor's expert, and the auditor himself has made sure that everything was done correctly as per the standards only, and the expert has given so and so findings and conclusions based on that. So if the expert gives such consent that yes, you can use my report and you can mention or you can refer to my report in your audit report, then you can give it. But in case you are giving the unmodified opinion, so there is no need to mention that you had appointed or you had used an expert for this particular matter. Only if it is the modified opinion, you can refer to the you can give reference to the expert's report or something like that. Okay. नेक्स्ट, अब आपको डिसाइड करना है कि आपको अदर ये ऑडिटर्स एक्सपर्ट को यूज़ करना है, उसके काम को यूज़ करना है नहीं करना है, तो कैसे करोगे? यू विल सी कि आप मैनेजमेंट ने कोई एक्सपर्ट एम्प्लॉय किया था फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स को बनाने के लिए. इफ़ येस, यू विल कंसिडर वेदर यूजिंग द मैनेजमेंट्स एक्सपर्ट्स वर्क और वेदर यू कैन रिलाई ऑन द मैनेजमेंट्स एक्सपर्ट और नॉट. इफ द मैनेजमेंट हैज एम्प्लॉयड सम अदर पर्सन टू डू सम वर्क हु इज़ एन एक्सपर्ट इन इट एंड you are not an expert in that particular matter, how will you decide that the work is done correctly or not if you are not an expert and you do not have any knowledge about that particular work? So what you will do is you will employ or you will appoint an auditor's expert for that particular thing, so that you make sure that the management expert is doing his work correctly or the work done by him is correctly done. To make sure this, you are going to appoint or you are going to use the work of the expert. Okay, as an auditor, it becomes easier for you to decide when you see a management expert working in the organization or working for the organization. So it becomes easier for you to decide, okay, I will also need one expert because this is not a matter related to auditing and accounting and I don't have the knowledge to do so. So I will try seeking help from the expert. If the matter is very, very complex, it cannot be solved alone, you need some help, you can take the help of an expert. You see the risks of material misstatements are very, very high, very, very high. Obviously, you will have to devote your time also in that, and you might need the help of the expert also, because you might not possess so much knowledge about this, right? So these are some of the considerations you might think of. And how will you check the expert is competent or not? Objectivity hai ya nahi, or is he competent, is he capable? How will you check? The way you checked the management's expert, similarly you are going to check it for the auditor's expert as well, through the books he must have written or through the discussions from him, or you already have the previous experience, or some other auditor you know has already used his work, so you can consult with him, you can discuss the matter with him that yes, so and so expert I am going to use for my work, is he actually good, professionally sound? I might ask my other colleagues, other friends for help, that please tell me if this expert is good in his work or not. So all these are some of the points which will definitely help me in deciding whether the expert is competent or not, whether he is capable of doing the work which I am going to give him. So this way this essay goes on and on and on. Okay, so this is not a difficult essay, I would say. Some points are very, very similar to essay 500 management's expert, because the way we looked upon the management's expert, some of the points are same, but mind it, दोनों बिल्कुल भी same नहीं है, both of them are not same. Auditor's expert is different, management's expert is different. Okay, so this was just a brief idea about 620. I hope you have understood the background of essay 620. The brief idea you have got about it is relevant now, and we will do the topic from the notes now. Okay, let's start from the notes. Okay, So essay 620, using the work of auditor's expert. This essay deals with the auditor's responsibility or responsibilities regarding the use of an individual or organization's work in a field of expertise other than accounting or auditing. So this is important. The expertise should be in the field other than accounting and auditing, because accounting and auditing is my expertise field. If I don't know that also, why I am being appointed as an auditor? Right? So that is why you want to take help, you take help, but that should not be related to accounting or auditing, because if you don't know auditing or accounting, why are you doing the audit of any entity? Okay, so you can take the help of an individual or organization in a field of expertise which is other than accounting or auditing, when that work is used to assist the auditor in obtaining the sufficient appropriate audit evidences. So what is the purpose of using the work of auditor's expert? The purpose is to assist the auditor in obtaining the sufficient appropriate audit evidences. Okay, let's move on. Important. Auditor's responsibility is not reduced by the auditor's use of the work of an auditor's expert. He remains sole responsible for the opinion expressed. I told you this before only, that this is something which the auditor cannot say that my responsibility is reduced because I have given this work to the expert. Now the expert knows how to do it and I am not responsible for this. No, the opinion which you form is, you are the only one responsible for that. Okay, so this essay does not deal with engagement team member. This does not deal with engagement team member is expert in a specialized area of accounting or auditing. So you have a team of members and some of them are very expert in the field of accounting or auditing. Will you say they are the auditor's expert? No, they are your team members. किसमें एक्सपर्टीज है? अकाउंटिंग, ऑडिटिंग, बट ऑडिटर्स एक्सपर्ट के पास किस चीज़ में एक्सपर्टीज होती है अदर दैन अकाउंटिंग और ऑडिटिंग. सो यू कैन नॉट से द एंगेजमेंट टीम मेंबर्स आर एक्सपर्ट इन द एरिया ऑफ अकाउंटिंग और ऑडिटिंग, सो दीज आर द ऑडिटर्स एक्सपर्ट. आई हैव टू अप्लाई एस 620. नो, यू हैव टू अप्लाई 620 ओनली व्हेन you are using the work of an expert which is appointed or approached by you being an auditor. Okay, auditor uses the work of management's expert. So in this case you cannot say the work of management's expert is being used, as we had studied in SA 500 that the auditor might use the work of management's expert if he is of this opinion that the management's expert is capable, competent and he is working with objectivity. So in that cases auditor used to use the work of management's expert. So can you say SA 620 says so? No, this is not as per SA 620, this is as per 500. Okay, next, I hope you are clear till here. Right, objective of auditor: to determine whether to use the work of an auditor's expert and that work is adequate for the auditor's purpose. This is what my objective is. First of all, I will have to see whether I want to use the work of an expert or not. When do I need an expert to do this work? If yes, then I will see whether that work is adequate for my purposes or not. Difference क्या है दोनों के बीच में? As I had already told you, the main difference is this: use of work. It is used by the auditor to obtain the sufficient and appropriate audit evidences. The management's expert is used by the management or the entity for preparation of the financial statement. Matters, areas where the auditor can use the expert work. So valuation of complex financial information है. अब financial information इतनी complex है, उसकी valuation करनी है. वैल्यूएशन का काम मेरे को थोड़ा आता है. प्लांट एंड मशीनरी की वैल्यूएशन करनी है, मुझे थोड़ा आता है. मैं तो वैल्यूअर के पास जाऊंगी. लैंड एंड बिल्डिंग है, ज्वेलरी है, वर्क्स ऑफ आर्ट है, एंटीक्स है, एसेट्स अक्वायर्ड एंड लायबिलिटी अज्यूम्ड इन बिजनेस कॉम्बिनेशंस, impaired assets, intangible assets, इनकी वैल्यूएशन करनी है. How will I do that if I don't have the knowledge about this? So I will definitely use the work of an expert. This is what is written. देखो, याद करने की ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ेगी अगर आपको समझ आ जाएगा तो. कोई एक्चुअरियल कैलकुलेशन करनी है किसी लायबिलिटी की विच इज़ एसोसिएटेड विद इंश्योरेंस कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स और एम्प्लॉय बेनिफिट प्लान्स. इंटरप्रिटेशन ऑफ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स, लॉज, रेगुलेशन वैसे तो मुझे पता होता है, बट कहीं पर हो सकता है ना इतना ज़्यादा स्पेसिफिक है, इतना ज़्यादा कन्फ्यूजिंग हो रहा है कि आई एम नॉट एबल टू I get the audit evidences whether I am doing it right or whether the management has done it right or not. So in these cases I might seek help from a lawyer. Estimation of oil and gas reserves, valuation of environmental liability, site cleanup cost, analysis of complex अनयूजुअल टैक्स कंप्लायंस इशू। भाई मैं तो ऑडिट करने आई हूँ ना, मुझे क्या पता टैक्स कंप्लायंसेस कैसे सही कर रखे हैं नहीं कर रखे हैं। हो सकता है कुछ ऐसे कॉम्प्लेक्स आ गए या बिल्कुल अनयूजुअल हो गए। यूजुअल आ गए तो एज एन ऑडिटर मुझे पता होंगे, बट कुछ बिल्कुल ही कॉम्प्लेक्स या अनयूजुअल आ गया जिसका एनालिसिस करना पड़ जाएगा, मुझसे नहीं होगा। I might need the help of a tax expert. So in these cases, these are the matters in which the auditor might seek help from the expert. Okay. Next, procedures to be followed while using the work of auditor's expert. So you have to determine the need of the auditor's expert, whether you need him or not. राइट, फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन दैट शुड बी देयर इन योर माइंड कि आपको ऑडिटर्स एक्सपर्ट की ज़रूरत है या नहीं। तो प्रोसीजर क्या होगा एज एन ऑडिटर? सबसे पहले तो मुझे देखना पड़ेगा कि क्या मुझे मुझे एज एन ऑडिटर एक्सपर्ट की ज़रूरत है या नहीं। ज़रूरत है, पता चल गया, तो अब देखो कि जिस बंदे को मैं अप्रोच कर रही हूँ क्या वो कॉम्पिटेंट है, केपेबल है, ऑब्जेक्टिवली काम करता है या नहीं करता है, उसके काम की अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑब्टेन करने की कोशिश करो। क्या देखो क्या वो हमारे ऑडिट पर्पसेस के लिए अप्रोप्रिएट है या नहीं। अब सब चीज़ें सही लग रही हैं तो फिर उसके साथ क्या करोगे? अग्रीमेंट करोगे। अग्रीमेंट कैसा होना चाहिए? रिटर्न होना चाहिए, डिटेल्ड होना चाहिए। आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा? उसकी काम की एडिक्वेसी को चेक करना पड़ेगा कि आपके पर्पस के लिए वो एडिक्वेट है या नहीं। इसको कैसे करोगे? देखोगे कि वो क्या क्या फाइंडिंग्स और कंक्लूजन्स बना रहा है, क्या वो रेलेवेंट है, रीजनेबल हैं, क्या हमारे अदर ऑडिट एविडेंसेस के साथ कंसिस्टेंट है। चेक करोगे जो अजम्पशंस मेथड्स वो यूज़ कर रहा है क्या वो रेलेवेंट और रीजनेबल हैं। सोर्स डेटा क्या है? सोर्स डेटा रेलेवेंट, कंप्लीट होना चाहिए, एक्यूरेट होना चाहिए, तभी तो आगे का काम सही से होगा। सो दीज आर द सम ऑफ द प्रोसीजर्स विच द ऑडिटर नीड्स टू परफॉर्म। द ऑडिटर्स एक्सपर्ट वर्क इज़ नॉट एडिक्वेट। अगर उसका काम एडिक्वेट नहीं है तो मुझे क्या करना पड़ेगा? सबसे पहले तो एक्सपर्ट से पूछो ना कि आपका काम एडिक्वेट नहीं लग रहा, तो फिर आपको बताएगा कि रीज़न क्या है। अगर आपको पता चलता है कि मैनेजमेंट लिमिटेशंस इम्पोज कर रही है, मैनेजमेंट के साथ डिस्कस करो इस चीज़ को, और मैनेजमेंट अगर फिर भी नहीं मान रही कि इन्फॉर्मेशन मैं नहीं प्रोवाइड कर रहा, तो उस केस में आप क्या करोगे? सिंपल SS 705 के हिसाब से मॉडिफाई योर रिपोर्ट। लेकिन आपको पता चलता है कि एक्सपर्ट के खुद के प्रोसीजर सही से नहीं हो रहे हैं या सही नहीं है, तो उस केस में आप डिसाइड करोगे कि एडिशनल प्रोसीजर्स को परफॉर्म करने की ज़रूरत है। अगर एक्सपर्ट करने के लिए तैयार नहीं है एडिशनल प्रोसीजर्स, तो आप क्या करोगे? एक्सपर्ट को रिप्लेस कर दोगे, क्योंकि आपने अपॉइंट किया था एक्सपर्ट को फॉर द पर्पस ऑफ योर ऑडिट, एंड इफ इज नॉट अप्लाइंग द प्रोसीजर्स एज पर योर रिक्वायरमेंट, सो व्हाट इज द नीड फॉर द एक्सपर्ट और व्हाट इज द रेलेवेंस दैट इज लेफ्ट विद द एक्सपर्ट? यू शुड जस्ट रिप्लेस हिम. You can approach another expert for your work. Okay, so use of auditor's expert report reference in the audit report. आप reference कब दे सकते हो of the ऑडिटर्स एक्सपर्ट रिपोर्ट इन योर ऑडिट रिपोर्ट? जब आपने मॉडिफाइड ओपिनियन दिया है ना, तब उस केस में यू नीड टू शो कि आपने मॉडिफाइड ओपिनियन किस रीज़न से दिया है। तो जब आपको बेसिस लिखना होता है, बेसिस में अगर आप अपनी रिपोर्ट में वही कॉपी पेस्ट मारोगे जो आपके एक्सपर्ट ने बोला है, इससे बेटर है ना कि आप वहाँ पर रेफरेंस दे दो दैट दिस सो एंड सो एक्सपर्ट हैज़ डन सो एंड सो वर्क एंड आई एम sufficiently satisfied with his work, and that is why I am giving the reference, and the basis which he has given me for modifying my opinion is this. Okay, so in case of modified audit report, the reference to be given to make the modification more understandable. समझ ज़्यादा आएगा जब पता चलेगा कि एक्चुअल में हुआ क्या है, क्योंकि उसने तो अपनी रिपोर्ट में पूरी कहानी बताई होगी कि ये उसने करा, ये उसने देखा, इसके बेसिस पर ही इज सेइंग सो. So that is why the reference to be given to make the modification more understandable after obtaining the consent of the expert only. You'll have to take the consent because you are using his report for your purposes, and you are attaching also, you are making it public also, that all the public can view that, all the stakeholders can view that. So that is why you need to take the consent of that expert. But if you are doing the giving the unmodified audit report, do you need such reference? No. जब अनमॉडिफाइड है तो उसमें रेफरेंस देने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. नेक्स्ट, कंसिडरेशंस व्हेन डिसाइडिंग वेदर टू यूज़ एन ऑडिटर्स एक्सपर्ट. क्या क्या कंसिडर करोगे? देखोगे कि क्या मैनेजमेंट ने कोई मैनेजमेंट एक्सपर्ट को यूज़ किया है फॉर द प्रिपरेशन ऑफ फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स, क्योंकि अगर किया है तो हो सकता है उसका काम आपके लिए रेलेवेंट हो जाए, बट हो सकता है आपको उसकी कॉम्पिटेंसी पर डाउट है, इस वजह से आपको डिसाइड करना पड़ रहा है, क्योंकि आपको तो वो काम नहीं आता, इसीलिए आपको डिसाइड करना पड़ रहा है कि मुझे इस मामले में किसी एक्सपर्ट की ज़रूरत है. That may be possible. Next is the nature and significance of the matter, including its complexity. Complex matter है, you are not able to deal with it. The risks of material misstatement in the matter. The expected nature of procedures to respond to identified risks, including the auditor's knowledge of and experience with the work of experts in relation to such matters, and the availability of alternate sources of audit evidences. If there are not no alternative sources of audit evidences that you can obtain, so obviously बात है आपको direct source पर जाना पड़ेगा, that will be the expert. Okay, next, factors influencing the auditor's decision with respect to use of audit evidence when management had used a management expert. आपको देखना पड़ेगा कि कब कब आपको auditors expert की ज़रूरत पड़ेगी अगर management expert यूज़ किया है मैनेजमेंट ने. तो जो हमने फर्स्ट पॉइंट पढ़ा था ना यहाँ पर कि कंसिडरेशंस में, तो कंसिडरेशंस में यहाँ पर हमने पढ़ा था ना फर्स्ट पॉइंट, वेदर द मैनेजमेंट हैज़ यूज्ड मैनेजमेंट एक्सपर्ट इन प्रिपेयरिंग द फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट. तो इस केस में बता रहे हैं कि कौन से फैक्टर्स हैं जिसकी वजह से आपको लगेगा कि आपको भी ऑडिटर्स एक्सपर्ट की ज़रूरत है. 1 सेकेंड. ओके, सो द नेचर एंड स्कोप एंड ऑब्जेक्टिव्स ऑफ द मैनेजमेंट एक्सपर्ट वर्क. उसका नेचर कैसा है, स्कोप कैसा है, ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है उसके काम का. वेदर द मैनेजमेंट एक्सपर्ट इज एम्प्लॉयड बाय द एंटिटी, क्या मैनेजमेंट को के एक्सपर्ट को उन्होंने खुद से एम्प्लॉय किया है या फिर पार्टी इंगेज्ड है. हो सकता है ना कहीं आपको उसकी ऑब्जेक्टिविटी पर डाउट हो जाए, उसकी बायसनेस हो सकती है, ऐसा शक हो रहा हो, इसीलिए आप चेक करो कि क्या उसको एम्प्लॉय किया है या फिर वो पार्टी इंगेज्ड है. Now, extent up to which the management can exercise the control or influence over the work of management expert. अगर influence कर सकती होंगी तो आप उस पर trust नहीं कर पाओगे. That is why you need some other expert to rely on. And the management expert's competence and capabilities, उस पर doubt है, competent नहीं लग रहा, capable नहीं लग रहा. Whether the management expert is subject to technical performance standards or other professional industry requirements. अगर होगा तो चेक करना पड़ेगा क्या उसके साथ कंप्लायंस कर रहा है नहीं कर रहा है. दूसरा, उसकी कॉम्पिटेंस कैपेबिलिटीज़ पर अगर आपको डाउट हो रहा है, सो डाउट हो रहा है या उसको चेक करना है कि कॉम्पिटेंट है, कैपेबल है, इसको डिटर्मिन करने के लिए भी यू नीड दी हेल्प ऑफ एन एक्सपर्ट. हो सकता है आपको नहीं पता कि कॉम्पिटेंसी है या नहीं, आप नहीं डिटर्मिन कर पा रहे फ्रॉम द सोर्सेज अवेलेबल वेदर ही इज़ कॉम्पिटेंट और कैपेबल. सो दैट इज़ वाई यू माइट नीड the help of an auditor's expert, as this point was also there in SA 500 when we were seeing what are the sources to check whether the management expert is competent, capable and objective. So for that, those points also there was one point, an auditor's expert. So an auditor's expert is also one of the sources to determine whether the management expert is competent and capable, right? If you remember the essay, if you don't, just go and revise SA 500, you cannot forget this. Okay, next, any control within the entity over the management expert work. So these are some of the factors जब मुझे लगेगा कि management का expert सही से काम नहीं कर रहा, हो सकता है I cannot trust him, I cannot rely on the work of management expert and I need my own expert to check whether the work is done correctly or not. Okay, next. Now, as you used to evaluate the management's expert work, now you are going to evaluate whether the auditor's expert is competent, capable and objective in his work. So competency refers to the nature and level of expertise he is holding and capability refers to applying those competence wala point, applying the competence in your work. So ability to exercise competence in the circumstances of engagement refers to your capabilities, and objectivity means the possible effects that the bias or conflict of interest or influence of others may have on the professional judgment. So as a professional judgment जो आपकी बनती वो कहीं ना कहीं नहीं होगी just because of the reasons of influence or biasness. सोर्सेज क्या क्या हो सकते हैं जानने के लिए, सिमिलर टू दैट ऑफ मैनेजमेंट एक्सपर्ट एज वी हैव ऑलरेडी कवर्ड, पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस विद द प्रीवियस वर्क ऑफ दैट एक्सपर्ट, डिस्कशंस विद दैट एक्सपर्ट, डिस्कशंस विद द अदर ऑडिटर और अदर्स हु आर फेमिलियर विद दैट एक्सपर्ट्स वर्क, knowledge of that expert's qualifications, membership of a professional body, industry association, license to practice or other forms of external recognition, published papers or books written by that expert, the auditor's firm's quality control procedures and policies. So these are the some of the factors which are there, or these are some of the sources of information on competence, capabilities and objectivity of the auditor's expert. नेक्स्ट, अब इसको डिटेल में करते हैं. इवेलुएटिंग द ऑब्जेक्टिविटी ऑफ दैट एक्सपर्ट. सो इट मे बी रेलिवेंट टू इंक्वायर ऑफ द एंटिटी अबाउट एनी नोन इंटरेस्ट और रिलेशनशिप्स दैट द एंटिटी हैज़ विद द ऑडिटर्स एक्सटर्नल एक्सपर्ट दैट मे अफेक्ट द एक्सपर्ट्स ऑब्जेक्टिविटी. ऑब्वियसली बात है, द मैनेजमेंट जिसका आप जिस एंटिटी का ऑडिट करने जा रहे हो वो एंटिटी के ही साथ ऑडिटर के एक्सपर्ट का रिलेशनशिप है ऐसा, या कुछ इंटरेस्ट ऐसे हैं जिसकी वजह से ही माइट नॉट वर्क ऑब्जेक्टिवली एंड विद ऑब्जेक्टिविटी. सो यू नीड टू इंक्वायर दोज रिलेशनशिप्स एंड द इंटरेस्ट. You can discuss with the expert also any applicable safeguards, including any professional requirements that apply to that expert, and evaluate whether the safeguards are adequate to reduce the threats to an acceptable level. Interests and relationships that may be relevant to discuss with the auditor's expert include financial interests, business and personal relationships, provision of other services by the expert, including by the organization in case of an external expert, that is an organization. So what I'm trying to say here is there might be chances ना कि ये जो एक्सपर्ट है ये एक्सपर्ट कभी मैनेजमेंट एक्सपर्ट रह चुका है. क्या पता चलेगा, कहीं ना कहीं गड़बड़ हो सकती है मैनेजमेंट के साथ मिलकर. तो फाइनेंशियल इंटरेस्ट हो सकते हैं, कहीं ना कहीं लोन तो नहीं ले रखा, लोन तो नहीं दे रखा, कुछ ना कुछ ऐसा रिलेशनशिप क्रिएट हो रहा है. कहीं ना कहीं बिजनेस या पर्सनल रिलेशनशिप है, जो CEO है वो ऑडिटर्स एक्सपर्ट का रिश्तेदार है, या आपस में उनके पहले भी ट्रांजैक्शंस हो चुके हैं. तो या कोई और सर्विसेज तो प्रोवाइड नहीं कर रहा है एक्सपर्ट ऑलरेडी इनको. तो आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा, आपको WR ऑब्टेन करना पड़ेगा कोई भी अगर ऐसा इंटरेस्टेड रिलेशनशिप है उस एक्सपर्ट का एंटिटी के साथ. तो अग्रीमेंट विद द ऑडिटर्स एक्सपर्ट. अग्रीमेंट इज़ ऑफन इन द फॉर्म ऑफ एंगेजमेंट लेटर. ऑब्वियसली बात है, जब आप किसी को यूज़ करने वाले हो फॉर द पर्पस ऑफ योर वर्क, यू विल ऑलवेज गो फॉर अ रिटन एंड डिटेल्ड अग्रीमेंट विद दैट पर्सन. वाई? बिकॉज द वर्क needs to be confidential, done confidentially. The data the client is providing should be kept confidential. So the nature, scope, objectives of the auditor's expert work is something which you need to mention in the agreement, जिससे क्लैरिटी रहे कि इसको क्या काम करना है, क्या स्कोप रहेगा उसके काम का, क्या ऑब्जेक्टिव्स हैं, जिसमें हम बता सकते हैं कि हमें जो काम है वो कब तक चाहिए, क्या क्या रेलेवेंट टेक्निकल स्टैंडर्ड्स हैं जो उसको गवर्न करते हैं, क्या रिस्पेक्टिव रोल्स रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज़ रहेंगी दोनों की, कल को जाके झगड़े ना हो. इसीलिए नेचर, टाइमिंग एंड एक्सटेंट ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन इंक्लूडिंग दी फॉर्म ऑफ रिपोर्ट, किस तरीके से रिपोर्ट की जाएगी, कैसे कैसे कम्युनिकेट किया जाएगा, कब कब क्या क्या बताना पड़ जाएगा, क्या टाइम रहेगा. नीड फॉर द ऑडिटर्स एक्सपर्ट टू ऑब्जर्व कॉन्फिडेंशियलिटी रिक्वायरमेंट्स अंडर द एथिकल रिक्वायरमेंट्स ऑफ लॉ एंड रेगुलेशन. सो दिस इज़ वन ऑफ द इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स दैट ही हैज़ टू मेंटेन द कॉन्फिडेंशियलिटी, एंड दैट इज़ वाई इट इज़ बेनिफिशियल और इट इज़ रिक्वायर्ड टू have a written agreement with the auditor's expert. Now, what are the factors suggesting need for detailed and written agreement with the auditor's expert? So, auditor's expert will have access to the sensitive or confidential information of the client. That is why there is a need for the written agreement. Roles and responsibilities of the auditor and the audit evidence are different from those normally expected. So that is why it has to be written. Greater extent of auditor's expert work, significance भी ज़्यादा है, extent भी ज़्यादा है. That is why it is good to have a written agreement. मल्टी जुरिस्डिक्शनल लीगल और रेगुलेटरी रिक्वायरमेंट्स अप्लाई. मैटर हाईली कॉम्प्लेक्स है. फर्स्ट टाइम एक्सपीरियंस आपका विद द ऑडिटर्स एक्सपर्ट. यू हैव नो प्रीवियस एक्सपीरियंस, यू डो नॉट नो वेदर his work is going to be as per the relevance and the requirements of the auditor or not. And it's better if you don't have any experience with the person, you should always have a written agreement while you are going to give him a confidential data which is very sensitive. Okay. Next, specific procedures to evaluate the adequacy of auditors experts work for auditors purposes. So reviewing the auditors experts working papers and reports. So यहाँ पर आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा, स्पेसिफिक प्रोसीजर्स परफॉर्म करने पड़ेंगे ये चीज़ इवेलुएट करने के लिए कि क्या ऑडिटर्स एक्सपर्ट का काम हमारे पर्पस के लिए एज एन ऑडिटर एडिक्वेट है या नहीं. तो हम क्या कर सकते हैं, हम वर्किंग पेपर्स और रिपोर्ट्स को रिव्यू कर सकते हैं जो ऑडिटर्स एक्सपर्ट के हैं, जिससे कि पता लगे उसने क्या क्या काम किया है, किस तरीके से क्या क्या अजम्पशंस ली हैं, क्या क्या मेथड्स यूज़ करे हैं टू डू दैट पर्टिकुलर टास्क. दूसरा, इंक्वायरीज ऑफ द ऑडिटर्स एक्सपर्ट्स. कोरोबोरेटिव प्रोसीजर्स जैसे कि ऑब्जर्विंग द auditor's expert work, examining the published data such as statistical reports from reputable authoritative sources. Next is confirming the relevant matters with the third parties, performing the detailed analytical procedures, and the last one is reperforming of the calculations wherever required. So this might help the auditor. Now discussions with the another expert with the relevant expertise, for example the findings and conclusions, ये हम already cover कर चुके हैं कि अगर कोई inconsistent होता है उसकी finding और conclusion with the other audit evidences I have obtained as an audit evidence. So you have to discuss this with the management that this is the report being given by the auditor's expert. Next, factors suggesting the need for different or extensive procedures. So work of auditor's expert relates to significant matter. So इस केस में हमें extensive procedures की ज़रूरत पड़ती है जब matter बहुत है, significant है, subjectivity involved है and the judgments are very very complex. The auditor has not previously used the work of auditor's expert and has no prior knowledge of his work. So कैसा competent है या नहीं, capable है या नहीं, objectivity है या नहीं, उस केस में आपको एक्सटेंसिव प्रोसीजर्स करने की ज़रूरत पड़ेगी पता लगाने के लिए कि उसका काम भी आप यूज़ कर सकते हो या नहीं, राइट. नेक्स्ट, द ऑडिटर्स एक्सपर्ट इज परफॉर्मिंग द प्रोसीजर्स दैट आर इंटीग्रल टू द ऑडिट rather than being consulted to provide advice on an individual matter. The expert is an auditor's external expert and is not therefore subject to the firm's quality control policies and procedures. So क्योंकि उस पर आप अप्लाई नहीं करोगे, वो आपकी एंटिटी का पार्ट तो है नहीं, एक्सटर्नल पार्टी है, तो उस पर आपकी फर्म के क्वालिटी कंट्रोल प्रोसीजर्स और पॉलिसीज़ नहीं लगती. तो आपको ही मेक श्योर करना पड़ेगा ना कि उसका काम आपकी फर्म के हिसाब से है या नहीं, आपकी फर्म की पॉलिसीज़ प्रोसीजर्स के हिसाब से है या नहीं, क्वालिटी मेंटेन्ड है या नहीं. सो दिस इज़ व्हाट यू हैव टू मेक श्योर. द एक्सपर्ट इज़ नॉट गवर्न्ड बाय ऑल दीज पॉलिसीज़ एंड प्रोसीजर्स. So this was all about this particular essay, which is essay 620. Let's quickly revise it now only, and after this revision promise me you'll just go through the notes once again and just do the questions together. I'm telling you this will definitely help you and you'll be able to retain this much longer than before. Okay, so let's quickly revise this essay. So first question, what is the name of essay? Essay 620 is about using the work of an auditor's expert. This essay deals with the auditor's responsibility or responsibilities regarding the use of an individual or organization whose work is who is an expert in a field which is other than auditing or accounting. When the work is to be used, the work is to be used to assist the auditor in obtaining the sufficient and appropriate audit evidences. Now, important point, auditor's responsibility does not get reduced because of the auditor's expert work being used by the auditor. It remains the same. The auditor himself is the sole responsible person for the opinion being given. Okay, this essay does not deal with two things. First of all, if your team member is an expert in auditing or accounting, this essay is not applicable. Secondly, the management's expert is being used by the auditor. So will we apply the essay 620 or 500 के हिसाब से जाएंगे. Okay, next, objective of the auditor is to determine whether to use the work of an auditor's expert or not, and once you decide to use the work of an auditor's expert, you will have to check whether the work will be adequate for your purposes. What is the difference between auditor's expert and management expert? The main difference is that the management expert is appointed or approached just for the preparation of financial statements by the management, but the auditor's expert is there to assist the auditor to obtain the sufficient and appropriate audit evidences. What are the matters areas where the auditor can use the expert's work? First example is valuation. किसी भी चीज़ का बैलेंस शीट आइटम्स डाल दो, वैल्यूएशन करना है, प्लांट मशीनरी, लैंड बिल्डिंग, ज्वेलरी, इंटेंजिबल्स, इम्पेयर्ड एसेट्स, बिजनेस कॉम्बिनेशंस के केस में एंटीक्स, वर्क्स ऑफ आर्ट्स एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा. सेकंड, एक्चुएरियल कैलकुलेशंस करनी है लाइबिलिटीज़ की विच आर एसोसिएटेड विद दी इंश्योरेंस कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स या फिर एम्प्लॉय बेनिफिट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स और बेनिफिट प्लान्स. इंटरप्रिटेशन करनी है कुछ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स की, लॉज की, रेगुलेशंस की, एस्टिमेशन ऑफ ऑयल एंड गैस रिजर्व्स, वैल्यूएशन ऑफ एनवायरमेंटल लाइबिलिटी, साइट क्लीनअप कॉस्ट, एनालिसिस ऑफ कॉम्प्लेक्स अनयूजुअल tax compliance issues. So these are some of the matters or areas where the auditor can use the work of expert. Okay, now what are the procedures to be followed by the auditor while using the work of auditor's expert? He will have to first of all determine whether he actually needs an expert. If yes, he will have to evaluate the competency, capability, objectivity of that person he is approaching for this engagement. Thirdly, he will have to obtain an understanding of the work so that he makes sure that the expert's work is going to be appropriate for his audit purposes. And now once he have decided, yes, this is the right person, so in this case he will have a written and detailed agreement with that person. Now the thing which he needs to check after this appointment or the engagement of that person, he will have to evaluate whether the work is adequate or not for his purposes. When he is evaluating such thing, he has to see what are the findings and conclusions given by the auditor's expert. If the expert has given any finding or conclusion which is not consistent with the other evidences, what will the auditor do? Auditor will do discuss with the management and the auditor's expert. Okay, he will do two things. He will first of all discuss with the expert. If the expert says the limitations are being imposed by the management, that is why the work is not adequate, the auditor will then discuss with the management. If the management is not ready to provide the required information, the auditor will modify the report as per SA 705. But after discussion, if the auditor finds that the expert procedures are not appropriate, then he will decide that the additional procedures are required to be performed, and the expert, if not willing to do so, will replace the expert. The auditor will replace the expert. Okay. Now next question, next point, adequacy के लिए first of all you will check the findings and conclusions. Secondly, you will check the assumptions and methods whether they are relevant, reasonable or not. You will check the source data whether the source data is relevant, accurate and complete. Okay. Now you are giving the opinion, you are issuing the report. Now if you are giving the unmodified audit report, do you need to make reference to the auditor's expert report? No, you don't require that. But if you are giving the modified audit report, in that case you can give the reference of the modifications being done because of the auditor's expert report. So you can give the reference of that report so that it becomes more understandable, but this can be done only after obtaining the consent of the expert. What are the considerations when deciding whether to use an auditor's expert? So considerations are, first thing, check whether the management has used a management expert in the preparation of financial statements. What were the factors जब आपको ऐसा लगेगा कि you have to what are the factors influencing the auditor's decision with respect to use of auditor's expert when the management had used a management's expert? So the nature, scope, objectives of management's expert work will obviously बात है influence करेंगे auditor's decision. Whether the management's expert is employed by the entity or is a party engaged by it to provide the relevant services, this will also influence the auditor's decision. Third is the extent up to which the management can exercise control or influence the work of the management's expert, and check whether the management's expert is competent or capable. So if the auditor wants to check whether the management's expert is competent or capable, he might need the help of an expert. Now if the management's expert is subject to technical performance standards, professional or industry requirements, if so, he needs to see whether he requires any person to make sure that this is actually correct or not. So these were some of the factors influencing the auditor's decision with respect to the use of auditor's expert when management had used a management's expert. Now we were doing considerations when deciding whether to use an auditor's expert. This was the first point, whether the management has used the management's expert in preparation of financial statements. So the factors we have already covered with this. Okay, the second point under considerations was the nature and significance of the matter, including its complexity. Third one was the risks of material misstatements in the matter. Fourth one was the expected nature of procedures to respond to the identified risks, including the auditor's knowledge of and experience with the work of experts in relation to such matters, and the availability of alternative sources of audit evidences. If there are alternative sources, you might not need the help, but if there are no alternative sources, you will have to seek your help from an expert. Okay. Next, how will you evaluate the competence, capabilities and objectivity of the auditor's expert? So how will you evaluate? There are some factors, sources, not factors, sources are there. For example, the personal experience with him prior to this, discussions with that expert, discussions with other auditors, or knowledge of that expert's qualification, membership of some professional body or something like that, other forms of external recognition, published books, papers by him, and the auditor's firm's quality control policies and procedures. Now, when you are evaluating the competence, capability, objectivity, what do you mean by the competence? Competence means the nature and level of expertise. Capability means the ability to apply that competence in the circumstances of engagement, and the objectivity refers to the possible effects that bias or conflict of the interests or influence of the others may have on the professional or business judgment. Now when you are evaluating the objectivity, you will inquire from the management अगर कोई interest relationship है, expert के साथ भी इस चीज़ को discuss करो कि क्या कोई proper safeguards लिए गए हैं, अगर कोई interest या फिर relationship exist करता है तो इसके लिए इंटरेस्ट और रिलेशनशिप हो सकता है कि फाइनेंशियल इंटरेस्ट हो सकता है बिजनेस एंड पर्सनल रिलेशनशिप हो सकता है कोई और सर्विसेज प्रोवाइड कर रहा है वो एक्सपर्ट टू दी एंटिटी। इस चीज़ के लिए आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा, इंटरेस्ट और रिलेशनशिप्स के लिए यू विल हैव टू ऑब्टेन दी WR। आपको एज एन ऑडिटर क्या करना पड़ता है, ऑडिटर्स एक्सपर्ट के साथ अग्रीमेंट करना पड़ता है, द रीज़न बीइंग पता चल जाए दोनों के या ऑडिटर्स एक्सपर्ट के काम का नेचर, स्कोप और ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है, रिस्पेक्टिव रोल्स एंड रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज़ क्या हैं दोनों के काम की, नेचर, टाइमिंग एंड एक्सटेंट क्या है ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन इंक्लूडिंग द रिपोर्ट एंड इट्स फॉर्म, एंड द ऑडिटर्स एक्सपर्ट नीड्स टू मेंटेन द कॉन्फिडेंशियलिटी बिकॉज द क्लाइंट इज गिविंग द कॉन्फिडेंशियल और सेंसिटिव इंफॉर्मेशन टू हिम, सो ही हैज़ टू मेंटेन द confidentiality under the ethical requirements of laws and regulations. Okay, next was what are the factors suggesting the need for detailed and written agreement with the auditor's expert. First of all, the confidential information is one of the most important factors. Second one is the roles and responsibilities, which are definitely different for each other. Third one is the greater extent of auditor's expert work. The significance is also more. Multi-jurisdictional legal or regulatory requirements apply. The matter is highly complex, or this is the first time the auditor is giving work or having an experience with the auditor's expert. Okay. Next, how will you evaluate? What are the procedures you are going to perform to evaluate the adequacy of auditor's expert work? For your purposes, you will review the working papers and reports prepared by him, you will inquire him, you will perform procedures like observing the auditor's expert work, examining what the published data, for example the statistical reports from the reputable authoritative sources. You can confirm the matters with the third parties, you can do the calculations again, you can perform the calculations again, which is also known as re-performing the calculations, performing the detailed analytical procedures. You can discuss with another expert with the relevant expertise when you are able to see that there are some situations, there are some findings and conclusions which are not consistent with those of the evidences which the auditor has himself gathered. In this case, the auditor might discuss this with some other expert. He might use the work of another expert or some other expert so that he is able to make sure that the work done is perfectly correct. Okay, he can also discuss the auditor's expert report with the management. What are the factors which suggest the need for different or extensive procedures? So first one is the matter is very significant and it involves significant or subjective or complex judgment. So in this case, you will have to do the extensive procedures. Also, if the auditor does not have any prior knowledge of the expert's competence, capabilities, objectivity, he will have to perform extensive and different procedures to make sure everything is going good. Third one is that the expert is performing the procedures which are actually the integral part of the audit, and since the responsibility is on you to give the opinion and you are only responsible for whatever opinion you give, so it is very important that you do some other procedures also to make sure that the procedures are being conducted or performed correctly. Fourth and the last one was the expert is an auditor's external expert and is not therefore subject to the firm's quality control policies and procedures. So that is why the auditor has to make sure that the work being done by him is as per the quality control policies and procedures of his own firm. Okay, so we have done the revision as well. I hope you find all the relevant queries done. I hope you liked the video. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, comment your reviews and your suggestions, of course, your feedback, so that I can improve my further videos. Also, if you have any queries, you can let me know about it in the comment section below or the Telegram group, which I have given the link of in the description box below. Also, today I forgot to tell you that the notes which I have used are, the link of them are given in the description box below. You can check them out as well. So that's all for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe this channel for more videos. Okay, so this is all for today. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay safe and stay healthy. Bye bye.